Let me send it to
We'll see if
on
this
private.
works. Wait. Are we live or are we? Yes!
Yeah, we are.
Finally!
Finally.
Holy! It's been long. It's been
We are
so
live,
long, guys. We've been trying for over 30 minutes to get this stream working.
So you make it after all, huh?
I made it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, finally.
Hell yeah. Okay, guys.
Let's go.
If you wanna have your demos featured or whatever, just send it over on the Discord or wherever you can. Because I know there's some people that are not on the Discord that might
Or
be
on
watching.
Instagram.
Yeah, why not? No matter if it's my Instagram or the Polarix one.
For Discord, I'm gonna send I'm going to send the link actually.
You're gonna send a link? Nah. Because
In the
like
chat.
Michael already sent a link and I don't want artists like that are on or
Oh, by the way, where are those links from?
No,
again?
On the chat.
they are from the
What?
they are from the demo links channel.
Yes.
Oh, on the Discord channel. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I forgot 2 of them.
That's good.
It's okay.
I can always add them afterwards. It's not the end of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's start and check
Yeah.
out this
I'm going-
demo from
put
Blazon that
the
has been
announcement.
submitted by Michael.
Yoga. I'm going to put on the announcement.
Alright, I'm sorry to interrupt here already, but I feel like there's something panned on the left. A bit too much. Like,
Maybe, yeah.
feels weird. I don't know if it's the
I
chords.
already have some forms of feedback, but let's just continue like listening.
Sorry, kaj, lamio. To kak si mahao rukama, to me malo.
Well, I guess
Wants to
that
start?
I don't know. Well, it's up to us three because I guess
Rookie?
both Trix and Michael can't
Yeah.
Yeah.
really do so.
You wanna start with the feedback on this one?
Well, this actually is not bad. The drop is pretty nice, but on the second section of the first drop, where the plucks come in, it it feels kind of empty. Maybe some sidechain reverb could fill out the second part of the drop. Like the automation of the huge reverb where when the sound doesn't play, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I see
Yeah.
what you
They-
mean.
Yeah, this could fill out a bit more and maybe some I don't know, some crowd noise or there's some vocal
Yeah, like
hoovers
thicken
or
up the
arpeggios. Yeah. I'm just
yeah,
I'm just
the spectral
I'm
image is a
just
little
talking
bit thin.
about yeah I'm just talking about some filling out of the elements.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But
I also wrote
but
down
not
some stuff.
yeah,
For example,
but not overfill it.
no, of course not. I also wrote
Yeah.
down some stuff. For example, the impacts, mostly the impacts during the break sections. These sound
Mhm.
pretty loud to me compared to the rest of the break
Yeah.
elements. I would
Yeah.
take a look at that, reduce the volume a little bit because they're very
Yeah.
present, especially when it goes
Mhm.
from intro into the break. That impact is very loud and it's not comfortable
Yeah.
to listen. And especially
Yeah.
when you would play that in big or live stages or live in general,
Mhm.
that's really going to throw off everyone that's listening. I do think the plugs are really cool. I really like that sound design. I really like how
Mhm.
those are layered because they sound very full, which is really good. However, I do think the phaser that you use is a bit too much.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really present, like really thick on it, and I
Yeah.
would actually reduce that as well, make it less present. I'm not saying remove it,
Yeah.
but like make it more soft because this is very harsh processing and something that you will
Mhm.
not expect. I don't like the
Mhm.
live drums, but that's a personal thing, I think. Um, I would not do it.
Yeah.
If you do it, sure, that's your take, but I would not do
Yeah.
it. And I do think the vocal could
Mhm.
be a little bit thicker, a little bit warmer. It sounds very
Yeah.
dull compared to the rest of the instrumental mix.
Mhm.
And I think you need to saturate the vocal a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. Like the vocal doesn't
Yeah.
really blend in properly. You can definitely hear it on the first build up. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
when the leads start to
Um,
come in, the leads are
One
falling
moment, guys.
behind. Okay. Uh, but
Go
yeah,
on.
the leads are falling behind on the build up, especially the first one.
Yes.
And both build ups I feel are weak. Like you don't have a lot to announce them or to give a real energy impact to the drop. Like it just feels like, oh, there's the build up and there's a drop now. There's not really any
It's not
connection.
creating that.
It's not
It's not
creating
creating
the
the moment where
tension.
you like lean forward, right? When you
Yeah,
have build-ups, those are the moments that you're like leaning forward, like, oh, the drop is coming. Same
yeah,
goes when you want to create big climaxes in breakdowns. You want to lean forward, and that sensation is not being created so far. So you have to
exactly.
like spice it up, you know? It's like it's a really stupid term to use, but like that's the best way to describe it right now.
Yeah, it needs that tension, that small
Mhm.
moment where the drop feels like it's coming up strong. And I have a big issue on this track specifically with the part where the leads are playing on their own on the second drop. Because you can really hear the flaws on the mixing of the leads.
No.
So I wouldn't really have that part, or at least I would mix the leads better, make them proper drop leads and not like
I
just
think
one layer. I think.
Yeah, I think if you have multiple layers, I think your best option is to really determine which one's going to be the main layer and make sure that is um, the center point. and then use the additional layers that you have around it, like pan them slightly left, slightly right, because this creates room and it makes your leads sound very thick, right? Without overdoing all of that processing.
Yep.
It makes it sound like a whole thing. And we're not
Um,
talking about pan at 70% to the left. No, we're talking like 6 or 7% to the left and 6 or 7% to the right. Which is a very small detail.
Exactly. And now I
But
wanna
has a
just
huge impact.
like here I have the sensation that it's slightly panned to the left, weirdly.
I think this is happening a lot in the track, actually. It could be me, but I would suggest to take a look at your master to make sure that it is centered. Because it could be that, because I hear this over more moments. I also had it in the kick on the second breakdown where I was listening to Matt, so it's like, oh, I have an idea, like the feeling that's coming more from the left.
Yeah.
It could also be my brain tricking me, of course, but like I had that feeling. So you forgot to take a look at that.
Yep.
It's always important to make sure everything is at the right space in the right point in the mix, and this is something.
Exactly. But overall you
Important.
feel that it's a demo, an unfinished one, not something that's label ready, and that's also why we are here.
Yeah.
So that we can
Yes, of course.
also give out feedback to those tracks that are almost there but not quite finished. So we're gonna go to the next one, I think. Unless anybody else has something to say. Even members
No,
from
I
the
don't think so.
team. The ones that worked on it, that are here, for instance. If you have any comment on the feedback.
Yeah. For me, it's exclusive feedback, so yeah. Always
Nice.
muted because it's a track that I'm on it.
Exactly. And as Gabasso is saying on the chat, overall it's solid. Yep. Also, Solar Eclipse
Oh,
saying it has a ton
solid.
of potential, which is true.
Because I'm also responding to the people real quick in the
Nice.
chat and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, without further ado, let's go to the
What?
next track
Next track.
called Ritual ID. Work in progress, looking for collab, unmastered. Okay,
Who
well,
said
if
that?
anyone wants to collab, well, I guess this is
Wait,
the
wait,
moment.
who said it?
This is
Who said
from
it?
I'm
This
gonna
is from
bet
Ilmax.
it's on Smex.
Ilmax.
Oh,
No, it's
shoot.
Elmax?
Cause like I was like,
I'm
this
watching it.
could be what Smex do, like from the waveform. But if it's Ilmax, even better. We can finally
Let me
see
check.
something from him. Yep, it is. Let's go. is an interesting one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I did write a lot of things down on this one, but that's me because I don't write everything in one section, so everything's like all over the place. Um, I do think the tension you create in the first part, right? Like the
Yeah.
intro, I really like that. I love those bases that you use. I love like all of those little atmospheric elements. Really, really cool. However, there is this one point that I do think kind of distracts from all of that that's happening, and those are the impacts, right? The bigger hits of effects that you use. I believe that you use them like every 4 or maybe every 8 bars. I wasn't completely sure, but just a little bit too much. I suggest taking some out, and the reason for that is with those elements having in there, they distract from all of the tension. Like it breaks the moment, right? Having less is gonna make it more feel like how do I explain that? It's gonna make it feel like there's more space and more a build-up moment where you can build a lot of anticipation, right? Because you don't hear those hits in the background, like those big FX hits. I do think that like it throws off the energy. Let's put it like that. I think that's the easier way to put it. For the kick and bass in the first drop, I'm not sure, but I think you use quarter notes on the sub. I could be wrong there, but I think
On
I would suggest for the first drop on the for the kick, right? Like just reverse bass. Yeah, I do feel like there is a rhythm in the reverse bass, right? Something like that. If not, then something is happening that cuts it out because you do feel like there's almost like a psi bass but in a sub playing, and I would suggest having like a normal reverse bass, kick and bass, kick, bass, kick, very static. But I think that works very well for the first drop, and then for the second drop, bring back the rhythm. Again, I could be wrong here. It's always possible to be wrong. The leads, however, they do need work. That's my opinion. I do think they sound a very. I don't want to say boring because that's a very stupid word to use, but they sound boring, right? I am missing a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, a lot of weight that you want in the drop, especially when you have a much thicker kick and sub. These leads are not cutting that job. They're not filling that spectrum very well. So you have to like maybe go a different sound direction where it's gonna sound a bit more aggressive. Maybe picking up with extra layers. There are a lot of possible options that you have when you have these issues to solve. The vocal also needs some polishing. I do think the vocals are a little bit harsh, maybe a little bit loud as well. Um, they kind of sit on top of the mix rather than inside the mix, I think. Um, Also suggesting, this is a suggestion, this is personal preference. The plucks on the breakdown, I don't really like them. I would do something more open, right? Something more with more delay, more reverb, but very tight in its pattern, which I think is going to sound a little bit nicer. I love that fake drop. I really did not expect that, and I am a huge fan of the third drop, so I don't have to say anything about those two sections. But that's my personal feedback. I obviously don't know what the rest of the team have to say. Um, the melody,
I would
the
just
melody
agree
of the
with
drop.
Connor, and that's it.
I'm not bothered. Yeah, I'm not. I have nothing to say about the melody of the drop. The melody makes a lot of sense. I'm not gonna lie. It's what you expect, and it's definitely going into that direction. So that's good things.
The only thing I would say about this track, to me, it's kind of a bit too aggressive, and that's it.
I
Yeah.
mean, my own feedback would be that there's a vibe that's introduced to the track, and then you switch the vibe for a drop that has a totally different vision and direction. Like you
Yeah,
start with more
that.
ethnic/tribal vibes, but
Mhm.
then
You could
you have a
The-
big room
to
techno
and the start
drop.
and the start of the climax section
Yeah.
after the breakdown, it's beginning too early.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, it's also maybe it's good that Martin actually points that out. It may actually be a very cool decision to like take out the beams in the drop, and you,
See
yeah,
what I
you
mean?
could take out those beats and you do something like what Maxi and Banga does. He
Masking
uses
bang.
percussion elements, right, to to give it that ethnic feel. You could do something like that, like very large snare drums or something like that. You know, then
Mhm.
adjust them so they sound more lead like. You know, it's a sampling process that's not too complex to do, but that could actually be a very good decision to actually push that track further into its limit. You know, that's what you want with music. You want to push the limits to see how far you can go.
Yep. I don't have much
True.
else feedback to give because Connor gave some really complete feedback. So my only point was
Yeah.
like try to link a bit better the break and drop, especially on that intro.
Mhm.
Because once again, it feels like you
Mhm.
are bringing in a tribal vibe to then leave it on the drops. You don't have any elements from the break that are meant to work together with the drop. So that's
Yeah.
something you need to work on for your storytelling, because the track should be about um, a story, something that you wanna tell the listener, and it should have logic. It shouldn't be like there once was some guy that went to a bar and then he went to fight a dragon. Like it has no sense. Why would he go?
Yeah, you want. It's always
You wanna
important to
have
have
something that completes it.
thematical direction.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
the best way to put it.
exactly.
Martin, I pinged you for the last stuff. I also
Yep, yep.
re-put because we also skipped revival, so that is another place in track. Then Gabasso. Let's do Gabasso first because Gabasso.
I'm gonna quickly put
Hello, John.
this.
Welcome. Welcome.
Before we switch, before we start listening
Yeah,
to the other
you
things, I
can
just
still
want
give
to
feedback. That's
give
okay.
Yeah.
my little feedback. It's not like big like you what you did, Connor, but it's just a talk. I really like the ethnic vocals, and
Yeah.
the breaks didn't sound like it will match with those vocals. I think you can try to do something on a break like more tribal, more vibey, but that's just my personal opinion. I think it could work because you had those vocals at the beginning of the track, but the rest I think it's good. It's a solid track. It has a lot of potential, but try to do some of those stuff that can be unique. But yeah, this is my
I
feedback.
love. I'm reading the. Yeah, I love the ethnic stuff. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm a sucker for having
Mm-hmm.
those ethnic elements. So you know, especially now Martin pointed out, building upon that theme works really, really well. You know, it's a very cool theme. So
True.
yes, some good points there.
I
I'm
could
also
actually
reading
recommend like
YouTube, by the way. It's really fun to read some of
mm-hmm.
these things that people are saying.
True. I'm also doing it.
They
Yeah.
are
But yeah,
saying we are ass, our covers are
Ilmac.
trash,
No, 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 no.
our tracks are
But yeah,
really bad.
just
I'm kidding.
just finishing just my feedback. Ilmax, I'll just for example, like I did love the ethnic vocals. For example, it reminded me and Legend. It also reminded him of Caretos. It's a Portuguese duo
Yep.
that does more like a tribal psytrance, and I would
Yeah,
actually
there are
like
very.
recommend listening to Domo, some of them stuff to get inspiration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to eat the dinner while I'm on
Yes,
vacation.
of
Okay.
course,
Yep.
you can go. Okay,
So
so the
so
next one is
I'll
going to be.
so I'll catch you up later.
All right,
Yes,
man.
that's fine, Groupie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be back.
See you.
Okay.
All right.
So next one, the Boston,
So
right?
Next
no.
one.
Oh, who's next?
So Solar Eclipse
October.
bootleg.
11.
And Ilmax, don't worry, we're always up to give feedback as long as the tracks are nice and have a good team and are not
Even if the
AI.
tracks are nice, even if the tracks are not nice, we still give feedback. Just a little bit
They
different.
should not be AI, by the way, because like we received like 4 AI demos last week.
Yeah,
This week alone.
Yeah, this
It's
week.
horrible.
this week, yeah.
Of course we are rejecting them all, because why? Why would we have AI?
Mante, did you pull up those other 4 things? So like Blazon 2 times John Black and then Gabasso.
They are here.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
nice.
When will you play the first 2 demos?
All right.
Maybe do those first 2 because they.
Let's say since Solar Eclipse sent 2 of them, we hear 1, then we go to the first 2, then we hear the second, and we keep on the order as it was.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Sure.
Attention, j'arrive, t'es mal le charisme, mais pas dans ta story, j'vis blacklist sur Belize, sur le côté VIP, que des 10 sur 10, j'vis dans la zone à risque. J't'ai vu sur le périph', tu faisais la timide, tu m'as vu sortir de mon lit de ces chiffres, j'ai vu ton sourire donc, tu n'es pas timide, j'ai beaucoup d'ennemis, j'ai remonté la vie, dans le fond, tu le sais, j'fais ça pour te garder près de moi, mon bébé, tu me connais, j'fais ça pour te garder près de moi, dans le fond, tu le sais, j'fais ça pour te garder près de moi, mon bébé, tu me connais, j'fais ça pour te garder près de moi. Tu le sais, j'fais ça pour te garder près de moi, mon bébé, tu me connais, j'fais ça pour te garder près de moi, dans le fond, tu le sais, j'fais ça pour te garder près de moi.
A very nice one.
I love it. I
Uh,
think the pattern on that drop lead, I love the drop leads. Those are really cool. I love that pattern. I love those little portamento moments. Those are just wow. Really cool. However, I do think the pace in the before the build up, right? It's weak. I think you want it to be more in your body. And that's not the feeling that's creating. I also do think the snare in the like during the what's it called? Like the
break.
yeah during I don't know the style. I'm completely blacking out here.
The break, the break
yeah,
before the transition.
yeah,
of
the break before you go into the dance. So like the other genre stuff. I do think the snares a little bit. I would not lower the volume. What I would do, and this is like more of a smart decision on sound designing, put a filter on it, right? That filter is going to reduce a little bit of that harshness, but make it a little bit softer without having to make corrections, without having to reduce the volume. It's just gonna make it naturally sound softer, and it doesn't have to be a very heavy filter at all. It's just a very tiny one, and that could make it just a little bit more pleasant to listen to. Other
Ah,
than that,
shit.
I don't have. What is he doing? He is messing things up
Well,
again. Oh, great.
he got two accounts in here. Guys, it's just technical problems. But yeah, here's the thing. For the track, you said that the snares could be like low on volume, for example.
No,
Because
I wouldn't like what I would say. I'm reading what Solar said. They're not weak. They're very strong, but they're just a little bit too strong for what's going on. I would just try and soften them up just a little bit, right? Um, it's a very unique sound for a snare, which is good, right? I would not change it, but
wow,
making it more quiet is gonna reduce the power that it has, right? Changing it. Oh, you meant the build snare. Oh yeah, that does make sense actually. No, but like if you put a little bit of a
okay,
filter on it and you like make it 20 or 30% wet in the mixer, it's just gonna soften it up, right? Which that's what I meant. Yeah, he's gonna get muted for that.
damn. Um, okay. So my opinion is that before the transition to the climax, I think the snares could be like a little bit more present. But as Solar knows, that's just my personal opinion that I like more like
Mm-hmm.
that. The transition, like you told, yeah, it could be a little bit shorter. Yeah, I also agree. But like the impact and the transition itself could have like more character to it, not like resonance or something like that. For my opinion, I think we should have like, for example, the vocals going like in a loop, for example, that. But yeah, the rest, as you know, I like your style and it's very good. It's
I'm also a
very
huge
cool,
fan of
and
Solar's
what
style.
you're doing right
Really
now
like
with
it.
that, it's getting very good. Mm-hmm.
I don't have
Guys,
much to
for
Very
those
say.
good,
that
guys.
do
It's
not know,
very good.
Solar Eclipse is releasing a track with us in 2 weeks, okay? Keep your eyes out. Just a little promo for him. Two
Bro
weeks.
is
And
teasing
then, yeah.
without the
Bro is just
announcement.
yeah,
Well, I can do it.
doing stuff
We're
without
alive.
the announcement.
It's
I
Too
mean,
fun.
bad.
yeah, you're the
I
boss.
can do those
I guess
things. Do you have
Pedro
any
is
feedback,
happy.
Martin?
No, you guys said all that I thought, to be honest. The only thing I'm thinking about right now is how will I get away with the copyright.
Just out of fucking cool.
It's it's a bootleg, but besides that, really good one, Pedro. Really
You
good.
know, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
You got it.
I think when it comes to yeah, I got it. Don't worry. If we happen to have a strike, I got it covered. Don't worry.
Oh wait,
Just play along.
he's saying that he DM'd games, so we're fine. All right.
That's good. See?
Now,
So
Space
that's from
Rage. No, I'm kidding. We have two
from
demos
also.
beforehand, which are On My Mind
But we have
by
a
Gabasso,
blazing one.
which we are not listening to now. First
No,
off,
on my
Gabasso,
mind.
because
Gabasa.
he has been
Hey,
waiting, so
yes. Just so you know, Gabasa, because you have been waiting, this is your very first solo track that you ever send us. We're gonna fucking butcher that shit, okay? Just so you know. No, that's a diabolical. Let's play it. Let's see what
let's
he
do
got.
it.
It's joking, guys.
No, it's not.
I know I am joking, don't worry.
gosh, I've got a lot to say about this.
Yeah, same.
Michael, if you wanna
Start since you have
start,
more
you
to say.
can.
Yeah, I think the breakdown plug have a lot of low. It needs some low cut.
Yep. I mean, like, in my opinion, just starting off with the build up, the first one at least, there's a lack of bass.
The fade drop is yeah, the fade drop is missing energy in my opinion.
Yep.
Um,
Like, I'd say it's
what I think
mainly about the
the last
mixing of the
feature.
lead and sound selection. Because it ends up being
Mhm.
bland,
Yeah,
while it's not poorly mixed, but it's not properly mixed, you know? Like, it needs to go to the next level
Yeah.
for it to sound good enough. And like on the climax, I think it's
Mhm.
louder than the drop.
It is.
yeah, true.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
So you know you fucked up somewhere with this,
Yeah.
because the drop
When it
would
comes to
be
this
the
project,
longest part.
What
yeah, when it comes to this project, Cabasso, it's definitely something that's been an upgrade from a lot of stuff that we heard from you. Don't get us wrong, right? But there's still a lot of work, right? That build up, that's like the first build up alone. It's very empty in both spectrum, like missing lows and some of the mids, in my opinion. It also lacks sound, right? In general, like atmospheres or other elements that's gonna make it feel like it's a proper build up that's gonna, bring tension. But that also transfers into the drop as well, right? With the leads, they sound very. You expect something else as well, and it's not there. So you have to like figure out how can you make a response to the melody. How can you make a response to uh, um, the leads themselves, right? Also, I do think when you transition into drop uh, break, that very first section of the break pads and the chords, dumb it down. No, not dumb it down. Like make it like um, softer, right? They're very in your face all of a sudden, and that's something that you do not want. You kind of want to like build tension, especially when it's a track that like almost seems to carry more emotion compared to a lot of stuff, you know. And these kind of tips and feedback, they transfer over all of the track, right? But we know how you work, we know how you produce, and we know that the learning curve that you have is pretty good, to call it like that, So definitely not disappointed, but still a lot of work.
Yep, whole lot of work to this one,
Yeah.
but
Um,
it's not a bad one though.
my feedback is
No.
basically, yeah, it's not a bad one. Yeah. Uh, my feedback is basically, I think the lead drop could have like, and the drop itself, both drops could be like more aggressive, but mainly the first one could be like
A good idea for
more
that
aggressive.
is
The
that
drop,
you could use a counter melody on top of the plucky kind of thing. You could
true,
do a more counter melody that has more
true.
thicker and aggressive lead, so it becomes almost like a conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could work.
yeah.
The break blood the sounds loud. Yeah. Um, I could tell that this is like an early project, and I think for the second drop, maybe Gabas can put like some uplifting trance influence because of the drop leads. Could be something like that. I think could work. But the rest is getting there. I can see some stuff, but yeah, still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, well,
But I know we can get
as
there at the end.
Solar Eclipse is saying on the chat that he thinks it's more of a dreamy trance kind of ambience that he wants to have. So yeah, it will need to be kind of empty, but it has to be filled with ear candies. So
Mhm. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we know Gabasso well enough
yeah.
to know what kind of production decisions he makes, and
yeah,
the best we can do,
Mm-hmm.
especially because we spend a lot of time with Gabasso in chats, we can just send him into the right direction because he does learn from it, and I think Gabasso's learning quite quickly lately, in my opinion. So like, it's most likely not the last time that we're gonna hear this track, and it's most likely not gonna be the last time that we're gonna give feedback on it. So
Yeah,
like,
but I think he could take the Polaris learning class that we are offering now for 60 euros an hour. I'm just
No, it's joking. It's literally 100 a second.
yeah, unfortunately. No, I'm kidding, but we do seriously wanna engage with the community and some newer artists by helping them to improve their quality and productions at a reasonable fee, of course, because we're not teaching you guys for free. But yeah, we want to help out the community because the community is giving us so much right now, like from the support to the success we have. It's all thanks to you guys. So if
yeah,
we
that's
could give back
true.
like this, I feel like we will be honored to be able to work with the community, like really side by side.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah,
What's
once
next?
again,
What's the
if
next
you guys
project?
want help, let's do it. Next is this Blazon, Fire ZT,
Revival.
Well,
Eddie,
you can talk
Williux,
like
and Legend, which means that there's only Connor that
Why
can
are you
review
doing that?
it. So you're gonna have 3 people
Okay,
muted
yeah.
here, while the rest are just checking it out.
Okay.
Let's do it.
He's gonna beat my speaker of that.
I have two things to say.
I'm not gonna do it.
So first up, you can definitely hear that it has Martin his influence, especially on the mix. You can definitely hear it.
Yeah.
Undeniably his job. However, there are some slip ups that he does have. These are not mixing issues; these are volume issues. Some of the effects are just a little bit too loud, and it's a bit random all over the place. Mostly at transition points. Some of them are a little bit loud, but you could reduce them a little bit. I do think, however, one very present thing is the arpeggiator that you have when it goes from that first section of the intro to the second section of the intro. You have that arp that goes like "Du-du-du." You could make that more quiet. And that part, especially right there, it is very loud, very unexpected. You have to like make that more push towards the background. So it still works as the transition, but it's not all of a sudden there because there's nothing in the intro that's gonna be hinting that that's coming, and that's very off throwing, right? What I do think is a very smart decision is you have a screech playing in that mix, especially I believe it's somewhere in the drop. Really cool, really cool, really smart decision, really well done. I love how much emotion the track carries throughout the whole thing, and I think the sound design and leads that you took for that is a very good example of how it should be. I don't think if you use other leads that are more thicker or more aggressive would work. So that's very well done. I love what Adam did with the trumpets because obviously that's him. Really cool melody, really straightforward, very memorable. But yeah, like I said, there are some issues depending on volumes here and there. So I would definitely have like tell you take a look at that because that's just those little dots on the I to call it like that. That could definitely finalize the track.
Yeah, well, that makes me pretty happy for a track I made with the team like 3 months ago.
I'm-
I was expecting
Yeah.
worse.
yeah.
Nah, but we seriously took our
No,
time to make
no.
it great and as
I know.
good as possible.
I know, and I can hear that, like it's not the first time that I hear a legend song. So it's really easy to just take out what's yours, and that applies to same as for what's Blazden, what's Adam Williox. In this case, Fires is not someone I am very familiar with as an artist, but I can hear all of the others, and I can hear, yeah, but I can hear what everyone is doing, right? So overall, it's a very good
Mhm.
combination. It's very well executed, but there are some teeny tiny details that I would suggest you guys look at just to finalize that track.
Yeah. Still kind of funny because we are 4 people on a track. Who's gonna get kicked out of the credits on Spotify?
You.
Let's
So,
Nah.
No, we are not for that.
Michael just went like through. He's like, yeah.
Nah, but we're still gonna check out. We're gonna see who did the least on the track, and unfortunately, that one will be kicked out, which is sad.
Well, you can always,
Probably me.
depending on what label you have, you can always make them a featured artist rather than a credited artist. That's always an option.
Yep. We're gonna feature Adam. I'm kidding.
Oh, I would say just feature the whole Blazing crew because that's for members anyway.
True.
Then imagine us splitting up and the track being just all of us without the blazing.
Okay, what's next? What's the next track?
The amount of hiding.
Next track now is gonna be Solar Eclipse Space Rage.
Woo!
Alright, bro,
I
he's
love
already
Space
raging in
Rage.
space.
in the void, words never said. Heartbeat loud in the endless night. Fire inside me, ready to fight. Shadows move and the lights decay. No escaping too far away. Metal sunlight, don't feel safe. Pressure rises, seal my feel it ignite. To collide.
All right. It sounds too solar and not enough eclipse. That means totally nothing, but I don't care. I
I
wanted
think
to say
it
that
sounded too
joke.
much.
Okay, no, but for
There's
real,
I think
something
it
does
of
sounded
anyone
too
K.
much.
have, does anyone have feedback?
There's something of K on the feed drop.
Nope.
Hmm.
I don't think
On the
it sounds
feed
good.
drop.
On the first one.
Yeah. The tone part on the feed drop. There. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Here.
Yeah, there.
Gosh, I was
Very
so
well
focused
spotted,
on the
Michael.
bass.
Well done. I was also really focused on the bass. I do have two feedbacks that I think are very prominent. The clock noise, the ticking noise. Remove it. Don't do it. Don't. It's first of all, it's there too much. You use it very often. And secondly, I think when you have a theme around space, those sounds that are very organic, like clocks and stuff, should be avoided as much as possible. The reason for that is it just doesn't fit that thematic. It's not something that you kind of want to hear in a space
Objection.
related track because obviously you can object, but that's my opinion.
But objection. It could work very
I mean,
well
for it.
if you put a bit of cutoff and a high reverb and delay on it. But the delay and reverb should be
You could
really
make them
slow.
very cool,
True.
right? You
And
could
maybe
make it very
slow
cool, but
down
like
the
make it
the
sound
clock sound.
spacious, like it's an alien thing, right?
Exactly. It could work, see?
That's basically
Secondly,
style. It
I
everything's
do
basic.
I do think the leads are weak. If I compare this with the other track, these leads need more processing.
Mm.
They need more presence. I do think they lack a lot of power. They're really cool, don't get me wrong, but the kick and bass is very powerful. Your leads are as powerful, so it kind of like
The
flats
kick and
out
bass is
compared to
not
the
that
other
powerful. That's the thing. At least on my end, I would put a lot
Exactly.
more sub. Whereas you
Maybe,
put
yeah, maybe.
you put more bass, actually, more muddiness, in my opinion, which completely annihilates the sub and makes the leads not as hard eating as they should. So something that I learned from harder styles, try to remove a bit of that muddiness. So around 2 to 300 hertz, around that, maybe a bit more, a bit less. Try to remove that by doing a bell curve, and just, if you need it, boost a bit the sub, because it feels very quiet on the sub frequencies.
Yeah. It's mainly
and
the
try
bass
to
itself,
find a
like the
balance
body of the
between the
bass
bass
that's
and
very
the leads.
present. I do want to point out the vocal, very good pseudo vocal. Well done.
Yep,
It's a very good one.
it's a very good one. But yeah, other than that, it's a very
Yeah.
solid production.
Yeah.
I think it was on the
One of
break. This part here, where there's the kick clap.
Yeah, like the we
I
will
don't
rock you kind of
know.
stuff.
I don't know if it fits on this specific section.
It may not
Yeah,
be the
don't
right
think
decision
so.
to make.
Filter, yep,
Be
and a
creative.
lot
Be
of
creative
reverb or
with them.
delay. Maybe a crazy sound design with some cheap tuning or some kind of downsampling. You could always find a way to be creative. Ring modulation, flanger, whatever. You can always find stuff that works or doesn't. But when it works, it's unique and not just like grab a sample and put it there. Trust me, it's gonna be really
Especially
cool.
not a sample that has been used more than 1 billion times.
Yep. If I could, I would show you right now a project. Might crash though, because it's only one instance of Serum,
Yeah, let's not.
but
Let's not.
it's literally like the proof that sound design can lead to two different directions. Only with one sound. But yeah, very cool one. Honestly, if you wanna finish it and send it to us, we'd happily accept it, I think. So keep rocking it. Now, my brother Smex.
Ooh, we getting a Smex demo.
Hell yeah.
Smex gets me excited.
We are
I
getting a
love
Joe guy
Smex
demo.
music.
Brother, that sounded so sus. I know it's
Is
Valentine's
Smex
Day,
here?
but
I
still.
don't think he is, right?
Smex buddy, are you here? Come on, don't be scared. Show yourself.
Let him be like
Send a small message.
I don't. I don't think Smex is here. Shit.
Too bad. Well, who cares? At
That's
least we know he
unfortunate.
sent something, so let's do it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Wait a second, fam. Wait a second, fam. You're probably thinking what's going on. So let's try this again.
right, do we accept this right
Yeah.
away or?
What?
No. It surprises me how well Smax
no.
knows how to like tickle my curiosity every single time he sends me a demo, whether it's going through here, whether it's going through the demo submission, or even just sending me directly. This is so
You
cool.
know
This
why
is
I
so
love
cool.
to
However,
collaborate
there are
with you
some
now, or?
there are some points I do want to
I
point
also have
out, and
an objection.
I'm not sure if these are intentional things. I cannot decide if they are, but it is just something that I noticed. That very first snare build up in the intro. Is it me or is it Canton right side?
Is it what?
In the intro.
This one.
Go further back, you stupid. No. There's another snare that, yeah, right there. In that section, a snare is playing. Where? Brother, in the first 30 seconds, dumbass.
Then yeah, it's this section.
That is chill.
Yeah, there's a snare build up at some point. I have a feeling that it's kind of a little bit to the right, maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, I can recognize.
Like I have the feeling
Yeah,
that it
right?
switches from left to right, but it's a lot more
No,
on the
no.
right than on the left. Yes,
I
it
could- I
is.
could only hear
Yes.
the light.
I would take a look at that because I don't think that's an intentional thing. I also do think this could also, I'm not sure, but this could be intentional. The filter that you have when you move into that buildup, really smart. But are you sure it is done right? Because it does sound very, very intense, and you would not expect it to go as quiet. So either bump up the volume because you can see it in the wave shape. That's not a good shape, right? You can see it in the whole master track. You don't want that shape where it just fucking dips down that much. Um, what I do think is the atmos in the breaks, the atmos that you have in the build, in the drops, fucking awesome. I love that industrial sound. You know,
Yeah, I love the
I
whole
love that.
track.
I love all of that stuff. It's very industrial. I do think the break on the second part is a little bit too repetitive. It's a little bit too much same as the first one. Try and break that a little bit. I love how you just like switch it up on that second build up though, where you expect to drop. I can see it in the waveform again. I just don't know what's coming. And then when you hear it, you hear those vocals. You're like, oh, this is so cool, right? And it gets you so excited. Yeah, that section where Martin is highlighting right now. And then go into that second drop, magnifique. But like I said, I would take a look at the filter or the panned snare and try to make the second break just a little bit more original. These are like preferences because if you do this and you make those changes just slightly, I am taking it. I am taking it for Polaris and we're releasing this track. This is really, 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 really good. This is like, wow, honestly.
This is the type of shit we want on
think that
Polar
makes
X,
sense,
to be
yeah.
honest. So
Definitely. This is definitely
Yeah.
what we want.
I'll just change something. I'll just change something, but this is my personal opinion.
you'll change
On
the
the last
title
drop,
and
I
add
can say it's
yourself
even
in it,
harder than
right?
the first. No, the last drop I can tell it's already hard, but probably some hardstyle kicks in there could work. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
I don't think it's necessarily. It really prepares you for a hard techno drop. And I like that
Mhm.
this is a much softer version of that because it really fits the rest of the track aesthetic. I think because I've heard Smacks do a lot of harder stuff, he does tend to take it a little bit overboard sometimes with the harder stuff, and I'm actually quite happy that he didn't do that here, right? So, in my opinion, that's a very well done execution.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so unfortunate that guy is not here though. I really hope he's rewatching him
He
this
is.
stream.
I know
I
it.
really do.
Bro,
I know
bro,
he
it's such a
watches
chill
it because
guy,
he
like, it's
often
awesome.
like texts me afterwards saying thanks for the feedback or stuff like that.
Yeah. Really cool track.
For someone that I
Blessings
have
to God.
a whole EP with, ah,
Oh, he was here! You
He is
little
here.
dirty motherfucker!
I told you he
Ugh.
was checking it out.
The snares are panned on purpose. Okay, well, if they are panned on purpose, try and reduce it a little bit because it's a little bit too much, right?
Yeah.
Try and put them a little bit more to the left, not too much, because I get it. If you pan them to the right, that's most likely because of space and stuff. But like, it's a little bit too much.
Gabasa doing the
Gabasa
wingman.
texted him. He's like, "Oh, you're doing the trick."
Nah, but
That would be
Dario, seriously, like, you are always crushing it. We should always, still have to finish our stuffs, and I know we're gonna make some great things still, but this one, we could definitely get it here on Polarix. Just basic stuff needs.
Just some tiny updates, right? But if you do that, we're taking it. Like, we don't even have to question. Fuck
Yeah, we
that,
can
we're
release it
awesome,
tomorrow if
sending
you
a
want.
track. No, we cannot do that. But
Nah, but insane as
Maybe.
always, brother.
yeah,
Keep on crushing
I
it.
love having Smacks on Polarix, right? Every time Smack sends me a track, I'm always excited to listen to it.
Yeah, main idea is there.
Not just the main idea, brother. This is almost the finished track. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yo, brother, wanna send me
Dude,
this one's
beautiful.
project and I can add my touch?
The track I sent you in private was another.
Don't do it. I'm
Okay.
gonna change the whole track. It's gonna become a tech house, repetitive track.
No, John, you're still up.
Nah.
Yours are still open. We haven't gotten to yours yet, by the way. I am
Wait, John is
hopping
asking.
back. Yeah, John Black. He said, "Oh, mine's were
Hmm.
passed, I think," but no, his are
I mean, it's
still open.
literally like Dexter's demo,
bottom,
and
right?
then it's 2 of yours, John.
Yeah.
If you
We're
wanna cut
almost
in
done.
line, it's gonna be paid now.
Yeah. Cut in line for only $100. No.
Yeah, crank that
Okay.
up to
Who is
100,000.
it? Oh, Dexter. Oh, Dexter. Okay.
He was here, but he's gone now in the airport, if I'm not wrong.
I also know who the ID is.
I really don't like this one.
like this.
Who goes
Mhm.
first?
Can we rock paper scissors
Ye-
this or?
You guys,
No, no. You know what?
now let me just
Andre, you
confirm
start. Because
45.
Andre, you start
Thank you.
giving feedback because I know Dex is a good friend of yours, so I could go for it.
Okay. You see that album covering that? That was my reaction when I first heard it. He sent me like a few days ago. That track is actually a good one. Like I told him, I don't have any objection. I even asked him to collab on that because I really like that in it late at the end. He said it's already a collab, and I think I know who is the other collaborator, but I'm not going to tell that. But
That's
yeah,
what thing I know.
for me, it's a solid track. I really like the atmospheres on the break. I really like the drop. I think it could be more harsh on the leads, not because it sounds that
No,
there's too much OTT. I
No.
don't know, but yeah.
I
no.
mean, I love how
There
you
are
are
some
just
other
saying
things,
random
right?
terms, like you're talking about. It sounds too harsh. It could be harsher. I mean,
Maybe
Bro,
and
I'm into
then you
this
talk
stuff,
about
okay?
OTT, which already makes the leads harsh.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
really
I
funny.
understand what Andre is saying though, but like the way of telling, it's like
Yeah,
listening to Siana's feedback while
Yeah,
reading it.
I'm just
No,
no. I'm trying to be on the big leads.
yeah. What the
the leads
first
are
thing that I
clipping.
think is very interesting, the leads are clipping. Yes,
Hmm.
they are too hard. I think they are either over compressed or there is just too much distortion. Either of
You know
those
what
is
I
happening.
think
I'm just
happened?
not sure which one it is. It could also be both.
Look, often I made that mistake, and I still sometimes make it, but just barely noticeable. Is that I usually push either the synth or the volume of the synth a lot before clipping it on a mixer chain. So usually it makes it so that there's little harmonics and a lot of clashing on
Yeah.
the louder frequencies, which makes literally the whole track feel less powerful and less
Yeah.
airy.
The leads need work. I love that term airy, right? I think that that's something that you very well achieved in the breakdown. I love how open
Yeah.
it sounds. I love how it's almost pulling you into this different world, and it's really really cool. There's this
Hmm.
one point that really threw me up. There's this weird vocal chop. That's literally what I wrote down. Weird vocal chop in the intro. I heard it. I was like, what did I just heard that? And I heard Martin in my headset giggle. I was like, okay, yeah, I did. Take
You
it away.
did.
That just no, it doesn't belong there. Right there. Yeah, you
Like you
should
hear
take
this
that. I
without
think it
context,
may
it's
have slipped.
funny.
I don't think it's intentional, but like it was really funny.
Yeah.
Leads need work. I also do think, by the way, you are having a 16 bar build-up. That's not a bad thing, but something, and a lot of artists seem to misunderstand this as a structured thing. When you have a 16 bar build-up, you have to make sure that you are capable of carrying all that energy across all of those 16 bars. In your case, that's not happening. You have most of your energy coming from the first 8 bars, and then it actually somewhat dies out, and you rebuild that energy in the second part of that buildup. Try and do this as a whole thing rather than making two sections. You could separate some stuff, rearrange some of that mixing, where you're gonna move forward in having a longer period of building energy, and then the drop is gonna hit so much better.
Hmm. Honestly, I don't have much more feedback either. It's a pretty sick one.
I
Only
like it.
question is
I really like it.
why the cover picture? Why?
Yeah, a
Out of
secret sauce.
everything you could
You know
have
what's funny?
chosen.
You know what's funny, John?
Secret
I
sauce, yeah,
actually
sure.
wrote down you have to put some secret sauce in the build-up.
Mhm.
It's literally what I wrote down.
Diamond.
No, let's let's not talk about cover just a little bit. Dexter is from a personal, no, not personal, more of a professional perspective. If you send demos to a label, they will still see this as a cover art. right? It's really stupid. You think it's funny, but it lacks a lot of professionalism. You're much better off using yourself, right? Your artist picture, your press picture is a very good picture. You're much better off using that as temporary cover
Either
art.
that or your logo, like each one could
Yes,
work.
it shows a lot of professionalism. This is a different kind of feedback, but keep in mind, labels, especially bigger labels, they don't like seeing that stuff, right? And I think for most of the labels, that's also the reason why they have their own submission system. For example, Revealed. I remember there were complaints at some point. There were a lot of sexual images and stuff like that. Labels don't want that. They don't want to see it. So like keep it nice and clean and tight. That's
I mean, they
very
don't want to see it while they are working, but I'm sure they are interested in that on the off hours. We'll see.
I mean, I actually like the idea. Of
But
course,
yeah,
for
if you-
labels, it's not good.
If you're sending
But
this as
actually,
a
if you're
feedback,
if you're watching and listening to this part,
if you're sending like this track for feedback to an artist that you asked for, there's no issue having this cover. But if you want to send it to a label,
they
to
will still see
never-
it, and most of the times they will still judge whether they say it or not. It's subconsciously they see it and they're like, oh, this guy may not be as serious, or oh, this
Yeah.
is a really bad track, or it subconsciously happens. They may not do it on intention, but it does influence their opinion. Me as well, right? I'm looking at it, right? I know who Dexter's is, but if I did not know who Dexter's is, that is immediately my first opinion, especially as a label boss. Like looking at it, it's like this one doesn't take it serious. And we have a very good example in our demos of someone that does this, and
yeah.
well, it's not really worth listening to their demos, right? If they had a different picture, I would still listen, but like
Yeah, but
bit,
basically, yeah.
harsh, but
Like if you're sending it for feedback to one of your friends, like there's no problem. If you send it to me, we're gonna have a good laugh and all. But if you're sending
Yeah.
to a label, it's a serious matter because you wanna get signed usually. So you wanna get involved professionally with the label. And if you're not being professional, it's not gonna work. But yeah, that's a good
Yes.
tip for all the producers out there. I think we should clip this moment.
true.
Flip it.
We can't
Nah,
because it's YouTube
this
and not
next moment.
Twitch.
Dexter,
That sucks.
you can actually.
Okay,
You can.
let's listen
I
to the-
actually did clip that one time.
Let's mute Tricks
Okay,
real
we'll clip
quick.
it.
Boom. Now let's go to the next one.
Yes, it's John Black, right? No.
Yep,
Am I still
Yeah.
muted?
not anymore, but still.
Let's see what this man's cooking. I've never heard of one John Black track before.
Attention, want to see them? Pay attention to me, whether they understand me or not. You will be guided by the echoes of my voice. Whether you like it or not, you will follow me. My voice will make you feel that you are no longer here, and you will see beyond what you believe. You will be able to see. attention. Want to see them pay attention to me, whether they understand me or not. He will be guided by the echoes of my voice. Whether you like it or not, you will follow me. My voice will make you feel that you are no longer here, and you will see beyond what you believe. You will be able to see. You will be able to
I think that's basically it. Don't know if the rest is in the extent, but pretty sick one, to be
I
fair.
really like this. I love that vocal, and the energy just feels right.
Yeah, pretty unique, like very unique structure, I feel. Especially the concept behind it, like the vocal and all, it's pretty sick. But
Yeah.
I still think that there's two main feedback points, in my opinion. First one being the vocal could be a bit less spacious and maybe a tiny bit more like a bit stronger, tighter on the mix. But it's a
Yeah.
pretty sick vocal because it really
I
engages
really
you
like
with the
that vocal.
track. And second thing is the plucked bass that you have. It's cool, but it kind of gets drowned, like the plucky part of it, on the drops. You don't feel it as much as you should. Maybe just try to get it slightly more present. And besides that, I think it's a very solid track. I don't have anything else to say.
No.
Not like this, at
I
least.
I I completely agree with Martin in this case. I already sent Martin a message,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
in the management thing. Realistically speaking, John, if you fix those tiny mixing things, you just call it mixing things, right? If you fix it, Polarix would take such a track. Like we wouldn't even hesitate. This is again a very good example of what we would be looking for as a label. That new standard of sound, and this is really hitting all of that, and it's really really well executed. Again, he's right. You could make the vocal a bit more tight in the mix, make it feel a bit more present. Same goes for those, little bass acid shots or whatever you want to call it. They are indeed drowning just a little bit, but other than that, this is really, really good. Great atmosphere, great sensation where it really drags you in. It really wants you to like pull you into that moment, and it's doing that very, very well. And Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. What kind of genre would you give this one? I think this is a very, very
Melodic
good
techno.
example of melodic techno, right? Especially the way that melodic techno starts shifting. This is very clear.
This break,
Yeah,
very
it's really
melodic techno-ish.
very cool. Very cool as well.
And then it builds up and all, so very sick one. Honestly, maybe the best storytelling that we had today so far, at least.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It, like I said, it really pulls you into that sensation, that moment. I can imagine if this would play on a live stage. Imagine Anima would be playing this, right? I would bet a lot of people would actually put away their phones because it actually is demanding that attention, and it's really, really good that
Yeah.
it's capable of doing that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that we don't have enough tracks like this on the label.
No, I wish
So
we had more like this. This is really cool.
yeah, it's a cool vibe. Yeah, don't worry, John. You can always send stuff to the label.
Yeah, this was also the first. I never heard any of your music before. You know that? I think you used some of your music in the ATE mix that you did, but I don't think I noticed it. Right? So like, this is really cool to just hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a second one. Okay.
Yes. Because he
Well,
sent
I'm
two
totally
of
ready
them.
for the second one.
I'm excited
When
for
it comes
this
to
one.
Michael and Trix, do you guys have feedback? Because you guys are quiet. Michael, you have something to say?
I'm quiet because I don't have feedback, literally.
Okay. I think Michael
mean,
has also
Yeah,
died
I
on
don't
his
have
side,
feedback.
which is totally okay.
rest
Let's
in
just
peace,
continue.
Michael. You'll be remembered
Yeah.
as one of the best producers out there. And oh wait, no, he's alive. Never mind.
Michael, do you have any?
So yeah, with
No?
Like I know you're a good
yeah,
friend of
with
John,
yeah,
so
with and I didn't yet. I didn't it quietly. Let me edit again.
by the way, guys, watching the
Okay.
stream, don't worry if you don't understand a lot, but let's just say Michael doesn't really talk that well English. That's also why I'm here, so I can translate sometimes if he can't find the words.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play the other jump track because I'm really
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, if
it's
it
really
says
well.
if it's like the first track, the track title of this one is true. Oh, we got the lyrics as well.
I see it.
Oh,
I was reading it. I like it.
Big blonde girl, so bitch head. You know my man, yeah, she's there. She hot, but she ain't see me. When she does, she gon' run. Low light, late night, cold up, wrong side, cold up, wrong side, love done, wrong side. Big blonde girl, so bitch head. You know my man, yeah, she there. She hot, but she ain't see me. When she does, she gon' run. John Black in the room, yeah. Feel that pressure when I move, yeah. She hot, cause she ain't see me.
Pause it. Pause it.
Cold up, on side, love done,
Let's pause.
on side. John Black, killing it. Cold blood, feeling it. Eyes on me, yeah. All on me, yeah. John Black, killing it. Step too bold, feeling it. Whole night, late night, cold up, wrong side, cold up, wrong side, love done, wrong side. Whole night, late night, cold up, wrong side, cold up, wrong side, love done, wrong side. Eyes on me, yeah. All on me, yeah.
Oh,
Cold night, late night, cold up, wrong side.
Wow, that's all I have to say.
okay. John, first up, I want to know what
Why?
what
This
don't
is
have
AI.
anything.
First up, I want to know what AI did you use to make this track because I don't believe you made this.
At
Wow.
least the
That
vocals
Honestly,
should
I
be
am
AI.
blown away. Yeah, but even if it is, this is really good.
Yeah.
This is really, really good. No joke. John, honestly, I have one question. Do you have a radio version of this? Right? If you do, I want to sign this track. I don't even need to ask the others because I already talked with Martin. Wow. Wow. Honestly, this is I have no words. This is so real.
Yes,
This is
look.
so cool. All I
Yeah.
need to know is if you have a radio mix, we can take it, right? Just straight up. I don't even need to hear the radio mix. If you don't have a radio one, you have to make it because I want this, okay? I want this to come on Polaris Records.
I mean, bro almost came on
I
stream,
can already
so
see Frank reading the video.
John Black
I
was
can
like, you know
already
what? Hold
see
my beer.
Frank
Let me
reading the
just show
video.
these little boys what's like to make music, right? He
yeah.
came, he delivered, and
He
he's
came
gonna
here,
leave
he gave us
again.
2 bangers, and
Mm.
well, nah, seriously, only
I don't
thing I
have
wanna
anything
say
to say about this.
is, I mean, just like the inspiration you took from, which I guess would be like for the people from the vision, uh, I would also just leave the first part of the first drop without the rides and then introduce them. Because like this, you get a bit more impact on the first drop, and like this, it's better if you want to vibe a bit harder to it. Besides that, even if you don't do that, it's still
It still slaps.
yeah.
It's like bro, you're getting a punch in your face in a good way, and it's really wow. Honestly,
Exactly. It's insane. Like we weren't expecting this level of quality on
Can
so
you
many
imagine
artists.
Frank
So
doing a video clip and a video clip being like.
Yeah. Also, the drop made me is track on intensity, cyber hack.
oh, that one. Oh, All right, now I see who you are, John.
The drop is good.
Yeah, really sick one though.
But in
Outflow
yeah, really
will
sick.
love
I
it
love
on
it.
the label. We are gonna be competing
Yeah.
with Stamped with this
Mhm.
one.
For sure.
Trust us.
I don't know where this could fit. Politics.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
Wait,
John,
you released an
John
Anamara?
Black is a really good producer. John Black.
No, never heard of you.
Black Connor.
Nah, but seriously,
Oh, I
John,
feel so dumb.
send us more tracks. A lot more
God,
tracks.
yes, do it.
Yeah.
Wanna become our
Please.
first exclusive artist?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Nah,
I
we
thought it was you, Legend.
no.
John, honestly,
Oh,
right?
damn.
Here's the thing: if you have tracks that you don't know where to send it to us, right? Even though we release a lot of big room and our main focus is techno, we take pretty much every genre. If you're killing the track, if it's good, right? We are taking it because that's what Polaris Records is, right? We want to create this space where everyone can be, right? Where we can change how the normal
Mhm.
music scene is being seen. But for that, we need music like this, right?
Bro is giving a whole
Just
speech.
send us. Yeah, just send us.
Yeah.
No. Most of our focus is techno, right?
Even
But
though
we
we
also
release
take
a lot of big room, but that's because we receive a lot of big room compared to the other
Exactly.
genres. But
We
in
already
exchange, we reject a lot more
we
big
already
room
released a
compared
track.
to all of the other genres.
Yes.
Like we signed a few
Yeah.
art style tracks. We signed already some
We have some progressive
techno,
house.
progressive. I
Mhm.
don't think we
Let's in
have
take
any
out and left for
softer
house.
stuff.
Let's in some techno take
Flat
out.
House, no.
I mean, technically,
Flat
bass
House, no.
house
I'm
is
joking.
Slap house.
no,
We're
but
not
like,
taking slap house.
but like
What
bass house
about
is the
take
kind
out
of stuff we.
slap house? Yeah.
Yeah. Send us, John. Oh,
Yeah,
he has a lot more. Yeah, okay.
yeah, John, send us your stuff. We'll see
Reggaeton.
what we can do. Reggaeton,
Reggaeton.
no. Unless Bad Bunny sends
Future
us stuff,
bass.
but no.
Future
Oh,
bass.
Bad
We do
Bunny.
take
Future
bass.
bass.
Let's take dubstep.
We
That's
do take
better.
that.
What about the like?
Brun. Brun Rot.
Like-
Brun Rot rave.
No,
No.
No.
Okay.
leave that to W
Okay,
and
guys,
W.
there are two more demos. Let's keep
Two
it-
more demos, guys. We've gotta do it.
Yeah.
Oh, and look who it
You
is.
do,
Michael, sorry, but you have to mute
Yeah,
yourself.
this is
You
the-
can't give feedback to this.
Okay. I know. I know.
2
at least
hours
for
ago,
those who see
damn.
mine.
He has prepared the demo specifically for us.
Yeah.
See, I already know that Connor likes this more than Big One. I only have one piece of feedback, and that is the init lead that comes right before the second build up. This one, keep it here and pitch it up slowly, and it's a banger. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. I really like this, Michael. When I see, I hear a lot of music from you, Michael. You know that I do. This is one of those examples where you absolutely nail what you're doing. You're taking
Mm-hmm.
huge risks by taking a theme about spirits and trying to incorporate that as much as possible, and you just execute it, right? Where you're not playing it when you are not
Yeah.
playing safe. Those are your best productions. This is one of those moments where you're not playing safe. It's one of the best. I already sent
Mm-hmm.
Martin a message again
Thanks.
regarding this track. I can see he already responded. That means he agrees with this thing.
I
Honestly,
always
I
agree.
take it. You know what
Yeah.
he says. Yeah, what he says. Do that little pitch bend, and we're taking it, and we already can set a date for this as well.
Yep,
Yeah, we're going on it.
nice.
I just have one thing to say about the new big room techno tracks from Michael Lees, because the new big room techno tracks that Michael is making is a banger track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I say.
Every
You
Michael
know,
Lees big room techno track is a banger track.
yeah, it's like I'm saying. You know, whenever Michael does not play it safe, right? Those are his best tracks. Whenever he is like,
Mm,
using the formulas that he is familiar with, those are often, not as good as the ones where he throws everything overboard and does something else, like this one, right? If I compare this with, for example, Feel
yeah.
the Beat, right? Which is also something that we released. This is 100 times better than Feel the Beat. I can't deny that.
Now
Mm-hmm.
compare it to Nocturne.
True.
Yeah,
Nocturne
same.
is
This
his
is the
best
same kind
track
of
by
level.
far, but I mean, at least he took
I
some
love it.
risks for this one, which work out pretty well.
Yes, very well done.
So,
So we have one more, right?
final track, unless someone
Yeah,
sends
so
in something else.
I want to
Oh,
send actually, but yeah, let me
oh, I
just go to
saw
Michael
he sent
SoundCloud
that
and
in.
look for that.
Jupiter. I like that title.
He sent it. Never mind. It's the one. All right, let's start with the best thing. This. Why is it
Yeah.
Just
off?
don't try with like that. You can sign it.
The riser's a little bit weird there. I totally agree. I can quickly go over what I wrote down. I wrote some small things down. I think the bass is too much.
Only
It's
some?
too loud. Yeah, I wrote. I kept it very short, right? But they're very specific things. I think the bass is too loud. I think the stabs are too loud. I wish there was a different pre-drum, and the reason for that is you create a lot of good tension in the build-up, but when that vocal hits on the pre-drop, it totally kills everything that happened. That's very unfortunate. I wish you would change that. Overall, listening more to it, I do think all of your mix sounds very loud. And there's a very good example, and when I think about it, that riser is also a very good example. That war horn that you all of a sudden hear, it is very loud, right? All of it is very, very loud. I think this is something that could be in your master. I don't know. But that could be. Also, your kick has phasing in your second drop. That's not a good thing. You never want phasing. Take a look at your kick and bass in the second drop because that's a problem. That's a serious problem.
That phasing issue could be fixed by
And
just
that's
rendering out the bass from the synth.
yes, but it is
Because
a problem. Those are all of the things I quickly noticed. But like I said, I really like me listening. I had to turn down the volume on my side of the stream, and just so everyone knows, my volume of the stream is at 45%. That's not a lot. Uh, it is loud. The mix is very loud.
is this better? I can't even hear it.
Yes, that's more pleasant to my ears. No, but I think you, Martin, you cannot disagree on that fact. You know, we have heard a lot of music. This one is like, Gabasso should also know better that this is too loud.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that if you check the spectral image of it, the LUFS, as it's technically called, all of that stuff, it's not good. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure of that.
Also, a small technical thing that all artists here could use. Yabaso is saying that he's blaming the Honor BW for the weird bass at the second build-up. No. Because if you forgot to fix it, it's your fault. If it was him that
Yeah.
forgot to fix that, because he was the one sending this version, that's fine.
Yes,
It's
when
his
it comes
fault.
down to issues, yes, when it comes down to issues that you have on a technical side, whether if you're collaborating with it or someone, okay, bye, John.
See
Whether
ya.
if it's solo track or you're collabing with someone, both of you are equally as responsible for everything that's going on in the track, right? Michael and I have a good track we're working on, for example, with Traffic. That also means that if we make issues and Traffic knows about it and he doesn't tell us, he's just as responsible about it, right? Everyone's working together to make sure that you take out those problems together, right? Never blame the other artist because that's a very bad habit. I totally agree on that.
Yep. Once again, bye, John Black. Was nice having you. Was nice to talk to you and discover your stuff. To be fair, so excited to work with you on
I'm
the
a terrible
future.
person. I quit making music. Kabasa, you should never say that.
No,
Yeah,
don't say
that.
it. Do it.
No, no, no.
What?
No.
What? No.
I mean, actions speak more
I
than
will,
words.
Martin. Bye,
Bye bye.
bye, John.
No,
No,
but
like it's
Cabasso,
not to like
never
put you in
give
the
up.
word, but that's
It's
you know.
trust me, it's a hard way, but you are on the right path. You just need a bit more guidance.
Definitely.
But then it's
Yeah, if
And
I compare you
patience.
with a year ago, honestly, Tabasco, you've made a lot of progress in a year. That's mind blowing. And trust me, like I said, we get a lot of demos, and a lot of demos we see people sending after a year, and for some reason, some of these people have started declining, and that doesn't even make sense.
Yep. Even I started declining. I peaked with Melody, and since then I'm declining so fast. I mean, I'm starting to get back,
So we
but
have one more, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, but
we
for
have
real,
one more.
Gemba, so never give
Also,
up. You can
DNR.
do a lot of stuff, and you are still in the learning process, so you still have a lot of time
Mhm.
before you start getting stuck like we are. You should
I
have a
should have
career as
started a career as
bartender.
bartender.
I mean,
I
Okay,
if
mean,
you
don't
want
give
no,
up.
to,
I would not do that if I
Keep
were
doing
you.
the good work.
yeah.
Okay, so one more track. After that, we can. I have a very fun announcement to make.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
it's in
getting
advance actually.
married
Oh,
to his dog.
Okay,
Wait,
let's
what?
play it. Let's play it.
what? I never forgot something.
I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it's too basic.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well, I did
DMLBW,
write.
but
I
too
did
basic.
write some stuff down again on this one. First up, your chords when your track starts, your chords. It has a bit crusher. I'm 100% confident that it has it, and that doesn't work. Especially when you have like very, I want to say clean sounding sounds, right? As in choices as presets. That bit crusher is not going to do it justice. You should remove that. Um, the kick and the build up as well is something that I think is not done correctly. It feels like it is stacked on top of the build up, And rather than having that, you should push it further into the mix. You should push it more towards the background, because when you use elements like that, you most of the time, especially in a genre like Big Room, you don't want that to be a main thing, but rather an accent, right? Yes, you can use it in the main thing, but it's better to do that in stuff like hard techno or a lot more harder genres in hardstyle, for example, where it's almost done always, but in Big Room that doesn't work. I do think again your mix is very loud. Um, I would suggest just taking a look at your master. I don't know how you processed at the end. I don't know how your master chain looks, but a word of advice is whenever you produce, take that master chain, that master mixer, take it down minus 6 decibels, so you always have room for stuff like limiters and a slapping on a proper master without pushing the limits as far as it's currently being pushed, right? Because that's not necessarily a good thing. One thing I do want to point out, which I think is very good, is your punch. The kick of your punch is loud, yes, good, because you want the punch to be clear, but again, it is a little bit too loud, so you have to like reduce some of that master. Um, Breakdown needs a lot of work though, right? In effects, it's not done correctly in the mixing. Some velocities of those things are not good. It also transfers in stuff like your chords and how it's layered and how it's processed, each and every preset that you have stacked on top of each other. That also translates to stuff like your bass line. You can hear, you can feel that it sounds muddy, which is very unfortunate, right? Because it's a very cool sounding bass, I'm not gonna lie, but it does sound muddy. Um, and overall, I do think most of your sounds are sounding a little bit dry. Chords, the bit atmospheric stuff, I would want them to be more wet, more layers, more reverb, more delay, or there are a lot of different techniques to make it sound more um, in your face. I want to say, right, more interesting. I think that's a better term to make it sound more interesting. And I think you should definitely spend some time looking into those things.
I would give out a piece of advice for everyone right now. No matter if you're a beginner or a professional, and I'd say professionals know that this advice has helped them, but
Mhm.
mainly for beginners to intermediate producers, uh, try and find some FLPs, or if you're not using FL, some Ableton loops, like some projects that are already done from people that know what they do. There's like a lot of Poisoned or Drew Young
Because
tutorials and FLPs
They could
and stuff like
they,
that you
they could
could
even go as
download.
far as go to yeah, they could even go as far as to go to Revealed Recordings, right? Back in the day, Revealed Recordings would also release free FLPs
Yeah,
of
but they
people that would
don't.
release on what was the Revealed Radar back then, right? So there are KVU ones, there are even from
Yeah, but those are
uh
kind of outdated because, like in 2020, there started to have a lot
yeah,
of
it doesn't
evolution
matter.
in sounds.
It
I would highly advise
Of
like
course, but it
the Kevo
like when
Patreon
it
is a
comes
good
to
choice. Poison
if
sample packs or FLPs, which are free usually, are a very good choice, specifically for
is
Big
FLP
Room.
family
And
good?
as I'd like you to
Age
know,
of I
don't copy paste what they do in the FLPs. Like you could
try and
make
mimic it.
one or two tracks like this, like copy pasting it. I don't see much problem, but don't always do that. And at some point,
Mhm.
try and see why they did stuff in the project, why they selected
Yeah.
those sounds, and why not other sounds. Try to see why they did an EQ there or why they didn't. Try to check if they why they cut some reverb there or why they put some delay. Um, like this, you will learn. You will have the vision that the artist has when he did the project, and you can really implement that
Yes.
into your stuff. You don't need to have the exact sounds.
Yeah.
You just need to know what each
Of
thing
course not. You don't even
has
need to have the
a
same.
purpose.
You don't even need to have the same synthesizer or processing tools. It doesn't fucking
Exactly.
matter. You know, like
You just
it
need
comes
to
down.
know
The
why
main
they
thing
did
of
it.
those projects. Yes, the main thing of diving into such projects is trying to understand the thought behind the processing that they did, because that alone is such a good weapon to have. Like the knowledge why and how is so much better than actually being able to do it. And I want to like give a little bit of a disclaimer, because obviously like we're giving feedback and maybe sometimes that feedback is a little bit harsh, or maybe it's not as what you want to hear. But we will always, especially here at Polaris Records, we will always give the feedback that we think you as an artist need, not because you're bad, but because we will believe that that's going to help you move forward, right? We wish everyone to make a good track, right? To make it into the big scene with whatever track they have, right? So, like I said, you know, it may sound harsh, it may sound very
Sometimes it is harsh, but
a
it's
bummer,
what's
right?
needed.
Yes, try and learn from it, regardless of the obviously, right? We always are open to give feedback, right? You don't need to have a demo to submit it to Polaris Records. You can just put it on our Discord, tag maybe someone from the Discord team like, hey, I need some feedback because I'm struggling or whatever the fuck. We're always down because that's our job, right? That's why we do this and we love doing it. So
Exactly. Like, if you want, just ask some people from the community and
mhm.
they can always help you out. You can always become really good friends
Yeah.
and end up becoming a duo. So you never know what
Yeah.
can happen.
A lot can happen. I do,
Exactly.
by the way, now because we're starting to wrap up some things. We're not gonna have a Q&A this time. I do have a very good a
Oh
very
yeah.
cool announcement for the people that are still here or the people that are watching all the way up to this point. Thank you for watching the whole fucking stream. That's fucking great. Thank you for rewatching the whole stream. But we have a very cool announcement as Polaris Records, because someone else is going to join our roster very soon on a very special thing. We are presenting a Miami sampler this year, and that Miami sampler is going to include 24 Carat, which is absolutely amazing that he wants to work with us. And I thought it would be very cool to share that with everyone that's here, that 24 Carat is going to join Polaris Records musical roster as an artist. Really cool.
Let's go.
Yay!
This created a lot less hype than I thought it would.
Yeah, but logically,
But I'm
because
still happy.
no one's here, it's just the four of us that can talk, you know. But and not many people are still
True.
here. But like,
You
it's
wanna
a
try? You wanna make me
very cool
try
announcement. And
to
I
be
wrote that song,
more surprised?
huh?
I'm sleepy.
Huh?
I'm sleepy. You wanna try?
Go
You
to
wanna make me
sleep then. Why
more
are you still
surprised?
Go to
here?
bed. Go, 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 go. Yeah,
That's what
I've heard the
I
track
have.
from 24. Honestly, no, Michael, I do not hear you. I have you very quiet. What's wrong?
Yo, do you hear me?
Yep.
Yes,
Now
I
we
Yeah.
do.
do.
Yeah, do you hear me or not?
Yes, we do hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I thought there was some bug, but okay, perfect. Because sometimes it's called bug sometime, but it's
Yeah, no,
okay.
don't worry. It
But yeah,
wasn't bad.
thank you so much everyone for watch. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
we very appreciate it.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Yeah,
that's the
thank
most
guys.
important
Okay.
thing.
We will wrap it up from here. We will close the stream on YouTube. For those that are in the chat right now on either YouTube or in the Discord, I personally will move into a voice channel. If you want to join, you're more than free to join. But we are going to wrap up the stream right here.
Yep.
Once
Alright.
again,
Yeah,
thank
feel
you for
free
watching. Thank you for
to join the
rewatching, and
Discord.
hopefully,
Thank you.
yeah, hopefully we'll see you again.
Thank you. See you.
Yeah, guys.